Ahoy hoy, I'm Pavo.
And I'm Neil.
And welcome to That's No Moon.
It's a podcast.
It's your weekly digest of all the stuff you need to know in the Star Wars universe and everything that's going along Univoice. Univoice. So, after last week when I had that little bit of a rant...
Well, we were getting worried, weren't we,
about
last week?
Star Wars and about Han Solo. The trailer has now dropped. Well, we had 1.5 trailers, really.
Yeah, you had a teaser at the Super Bowl.
Which had some different footage in.
Yeah.
From what was on the it's a teaser trailer on the Monday.
Yeah, so you had a teaser of the teaser trailer. Is that right?
Yeah.
It was more like a TV spot, wasn't it, really? The Super Bowl footage was more like a TV spot, and then we got the proper teaser trailer. You know, the 1 minute, I think it's like 1 minute 44 seconds long.
Yeah.
To be precise. So that's what we're going to talk about then, the full teaser trailer.
We are.
So let me ask you your first initial thoughts after seeing it.
Right, now, here we go. This is my thoughts. I've been thinking about this since Monday. We did a teaser trailer reaction with our good friend Nibsy. Excuse me, I'm going to yawn.
He's a big Star Wars fan.
He's a big Star Wars fan, and but it didn't really work, I don't think, because there was a lot of stuff going on in the room that we were doing it at the time. I've since watched it quite a few times.
Yeah. And
honestly, I still don't know what to make of the movie.
Right.
I think the first time you get caught up in the it's a Star Wars trailer. And then I was talking to somebody at work about this. I was talking to Chris at work about this. Before The Last Jedi, it was very uncool in any circle to say crap things about Star Wars.
Yeah.
To sort of
because this Star Wars was
uncool. And I don't think you've not seen the Red Letter Media guys. I go on about them all the time, especially on this podcast, because there's a certain YouTube sort of series that they do called the Nerd Guys, or the Nerd Crew, sorry.
Yeah.
And they are basically, what they do is they have a desk, and they're behind the desk, and they all have caps and glasses on, and they've got loads of Star Wars stuff around them.
Oh, surprisingly.
And then what they do is they are basic. Then they kiss the ass of Disney or Sony or anything like that, and it's a parody on things like Collider and these sort of people and people like us.
Yeah.
So what they did for their Han Solo trailer reaction, they filmed it a few days before the trailer came out.
Right.
So they did all these different things. Like, oh, look at the vistas. Oh, isn't that amazing? Oh, Lucasfilm, let's give them a clap. And then where, like we do on our trailer reactions, where the trailer's like a picture-in-picture, they just had a black box that said, insert trailer here. And then they did another video where they inserted the trailer, and then all of the bits that they said, look, he's there with his blaster. Oh, it's the Kessel Run. Oh, yeah, there's Chewie. It fitted.
Right.
It was sort of like they preempted what the trailer was going to be. Now, the one thing about this movie, and I don't think anybody can doubt that this movie really is going to be a fan service movie. It seems to me the only reason that they're going to make it is because it's going to be total fan service. So, if there's a checklist, it will be, you're going to see Chewie, you're going to see the Millennium Falcon, you're going to see Lando.
His blaster, like you said.
The Kessel Run, and he's going to be a rogue and a scoundrel. So,
a scallywag.
All of those kind of things. Now, the one thing I love Star Wars for is it makes me feel different kinds of emotions.
Yeah.
But it makes me feel emotions, whether it's exhilaration, whether it is sadness, any of those kind of things. And the trailers, I always feel really emotional about the trailers because they cut really good. Phantom Menace was a fantastic trailer.
Yeah.
Movie maybe not so great, but it was a great trailer. I didn't really, now that I've watched it in the cold light of day, and I'm trying not to...
Have you watched it up on your big screen?
I haven't watched it up on my big screen yet.
Yeah.
But I will say, I don't have that feeling of real excitement.
Which is bizarre, okay.
So much so that when it comes to, like, when we've done this sort of thing, what we're going to do tonight for The Last Jedi and for Rogue One and for Force Awakens, it was like a 45-minute long episode.
Yeah, well, we'll try not to make it as long tonight.
No, but I don't feel I've got as much to say about what I saw there than And Han Solo is my favourite character.
Right.
So
okay.
I you know...
I mean, I sort of... It made... When I first saw it, I thought, okay, it's a Star Wars movie. And then I watched it again. I thought, I'm a little bit more at ease. I haven't sort of changed. I want to see it, and it looks okay. Some of it I'm a bit unsure of, because I'm not sure what entirely it is, because of the editing. After doing the trailer reactions and the trailer breakdowns, you sort of learn not to try and preempt what's going to happen. It just looked like it just looked like a Star Wars movie, and I felt, rather than feeling overly excited, I felt comfortable with it. Does that make sense? I'm thinking, all right, it's a Star Wars movie. It looks okay.
But then, to me, is that how you should feel about a Star Wars
No,
movie?
it shouldn't. But also,
you shouldn't feel that's okay.
No, but one of the things I was going to say to you is, I genuinely don't think they should have released it so close to The Last Jedi. People are still talking about The Last Jedi now. You know, people at work have come up to ask me still what I'm thinking about it. And I don't think it being so close is doing itself any favours. If it had been longer away and we'd got the first trailer in April, I think it would have been a bit more...
I don't know, because I'm getting withdrawn. I want to see The Last Jedi again now, so any sort of Star Wars thing I'm going to be eating up, because I just want to see some more Star Wars. I'm not saying I'm not going to enjoy the movie, and I'm not saying that it's going to be a bad movie. It's just that trailer...
Has it left you cold?
It didn't leave me cold, I just didn't feel anything.
Right.
I just didn't... which is, you know...
Because you questioned then, you said that it's comfortable being the right thing about it. Of course you should be comfortable. If I felt that if I was watching the trailer and then turned around to you and said, actually, I really don't like that trailer, then that's obviously a lot different reaction, but I would have been pretty gutted if I'd have had that feeling. But to feel comfortable with it is not a bad thing in a way. It means that I think it's going to be quite a safe movie. I don't think it's going to be a classic movie. I really don't. I think there's been too many troubles with it.
Look, if at the very least I wanted this movie, I'd want it to be on par with like Guardians of the Galaxy. There's no reason that this movie can't be a Star Wars version of like Guardians of the Galaxy.
And the trailer, part of the trailer did remind me of that. I'll come to it later.
But to me, Guardians of the Galaxy wasn't what I would call a safe movie. It took a lot of risks.
Yeah, but it was an unknown thing, whereas Han Solo is a known thing.
But that's the problem for me.
Yeah.
Is that it's a known thing. So... And the fact that there are going to be people like myself that Han Solo is their favourite character, I'm not quite sure about Alden Ehrenreich. There's bits where you can see, all right, okay. I mean,
he's done the hair. The hair's brilliant.
Well, yeah, he's done the hair. I don't really...
I'm joking. That was the first thing I noticed was the hair. I thought to myself, do you know what? They got the hair smack on from the 77, the New Hope Star Wars. I thought, that'll do. On the hair.
Yeah. Well.
Right. Let's just quickly break it down. We'll try not to go overly long because we've got another piece of news that we want to cover. So the Han Solo trailer, as we said, it opens with the cockpit and the flicker switches. Now we don't know what cockpit that is. I assume it's from the bit that you see straight after, because then you get the Lucasfilm logo come up with that sort of rocky music. Not rocky as in a fight.
I would say that was the Millennium Falcon controls.
And you see, I didn't think it was looking at it.
I'm
not sure. I'm not entirely sure. When I first watched it, I thought it was. When I second watched it, not sure. And then when I was pausing it and doing this trailer step by step, I thought, I'm not sure it is. Anyway, and this is the bit that did remind me. So the music that plays, I said rocky, but not rocky as in the box. So rocky as in sort of the theme of the music, reminded me of the Guardians when the Lucasfilm came out. So then we have a voiceover. I've been running scams on the street since I was 10, so it's just laying down the groundwork that we sort of know. And then what looks like to be a race. I think it is a race or part of his training or something. You're not too sure, but they're in those that almost look like the like Luke's. My mind's gone blank. You know, the vehicle that he was flying around Tatooine on. Oh, what was it called?
Well, the land speeder.
Yeah, it's hovering.
Right.
They're hovering like the land speeders, and some look like the land speeders. And then the voice carries on. I was kicked out of the flight academy for having a mind of my own. Does it say much to you so far?
Well, I think the extended universe novels of the Han Solo
Have you read all of those?
No, I've not read hardly any of the novels.
Right.
But listening to other podcasts when they're talking about it, they seem to be taking a lot from that. Excuse me, and it's he joins the Empire basically, and he's training to be a pilot. Now that was what the teaser to the teaser trailer sort of implied.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that it was him said that he wants to be a pilot. But the thing is, I mean, I'm still a little confused because like the rumors were that this movie was going to lead up to
A New Hope, wasn't it?
Yeah, but that can't be the case.
Well, if it is, it's jumping big time spans.
Yeah, because if you look at how pristine the inside of the Millennium Falcon was, and
if indeed that is Millennium Falcon.
I've seen that shot and then the shot of that part of the Millennium Falcon, and it's just like it looks like people have done nothing but smoke in there because it's all yellow along. So it's the same. It is the same shape.
Because the thing is, I would have thought it's not the only. The Millennium Falcon is not the only one.
No, there's loads of different types of Corellian freighter.
Yeah.
That one is that particular design. There are loads of different designs.
Yeah.
But carry on.
So the aerial view with clouds, which looks cold. So you sort of come through, if you know what I mean, mountainscape with this, and looks very cold. With Han Solo stood with his back to us on top of the mountain. And then the voiceover carries on. I'm going to be a pilot. Then the interior of what looks like to be the Millennium Falcon, but brand new. So we think it is. Obviously, that was the first thing we said with Nibsy. We were all sort of saying, well, that looks pristine. It looks brand new. Would the Kessel Run and the Spice Mines maybe do something to the inside? Might get full of dust and, spice. I automatically think of like cumin. Or something. Do you know what I mean? Sort of a fine spice, as in a food spice.
Well, yeah, but they're not throwing bags of spice around inside.
No, but if they're mining for it, there's going to be plumes of dust where they're digging.
They're not going to be mining for it, are they? They're just
no, they're not mining for it, but they withdraw. What I'm thinking is they're flying through the dust clouds of the spice it might have got everywhere. That's one of the things that might have made it a yellowy colour. Maybe on the Kessel Run.
Well.
So then the voiceover comes back with the best in the galaxy. Solo is seen looking at the Falcon, so he's down below and he's looking up at the ship. Solo then walks down to a sand bank, so he's with a female character, which I think is Emilia Clarke.
Yeah.
Are we alright?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
Cuts to Woody Harrelson in a ruin or sort of like Stonehenge type thing, the Amesbury Circle or religious thing, stone steel.
Amesbury Circle. Why would you drag that up for a Star Wars?
Well, that's what it reminded. But they're the pillars, aren't they? They look like those religious sort of.
It just looked like some kind of ruins, didn't it?
Yeah. And he's talking to Solo. Hey, kid, I'm putting together a crew. Did I do that just like Woody Harrelson? Didn't
Not
I?
really. No.
Then we get a shot of Emilia Clarke's character. What's she called? Do we know?
She is Kira.
Kira.
Yeah.
Walking down a spaceship ramp with a droid behind her.
Mm-hmm.
Then we get a shot of Donald Glover's Lando Calrissian, which
with his pimp furry jacket on.
Yeah. And then a quick cut of another lady, which is Tandy Newton.
Yes.
Which I didn't when I first saw the trailer. It took me a while to twig who the actress was.
Right.
Because with her hair as it is, I thought, who's that? And then it was eventually I suddenly twigged who it is. And then we see an alien jumping onto a seat in a spaceship, presumably like a gunner seat, I think. When I was breaking it down like I wasn't pausing it, it looks like almost like, not down in the turret of where Luke was in the Millennium Falcon, but sort of at the back of a ship, like he's about to grab a gun or something.
Yeah, I mean, that doesn't necessarily have to be the Millennium Falcon, does it?
No.
Woody Harrelson's.
But the alien itself actually reminded me, who did it remind you of?
I don't know.
Maz from Force Awakens. If you look, it's very quite similar. And then we get a silhouette of Solo. Well, I assume it's Han Solo. It looks like him, but it's walking into a room, bar, whatever it is.
It looks like a cantina, doesn't it?
Yeah,
like a dirty kind of.
You can sort of see the aliens sat around.
Yeah.
And then we cut to Chewie in the snow.
Yeah.
And then Woody's voiceover continues. Not Ewan, but you in. And Chewie roars, or growls, or speaks, and Woody talking to Solo, raising his eyebrows. And Solo's first full face on picture, so Alden Ehrenreich. We see him first square on. That's yes. So nothing there. You just thought.
No, well, I'm not saying it's a bad trailer.
No,
it's an okay trailer. I think I need to see more. So
yeah.
Keep
Watch
going.
it on your big screen.
We will. I'll go and do that now.
Shall we? Yeah, I'll wait for you.
Yeah.
We'll just sit here, I'll clock watch it. It only takes 1 minute 44 seconds.
I know it does. Yeah.
So then, a spaceship cockpit and a droid hand gesture.
Hand gesture.
Yeah, of flicking the switches. It looks like the Falcon there more, because you've got the throttle thing going into hyperdrive, and then we've got a shot of a nightclub. I think is a nightclub.
Yeah. There's some Twi'lek dancers.
There's something or someone singing with a strange,
like a head in a glass case kind of thing.
And then we cut to Amelia Clarke again. The female voice over, which is Amelia Clarke, I assume it sounded like her. Yeah. I might be the only person, and then it cuts to someone sort of alien stood in front of Solo. He unclips his pistol to bring it out, and the female voice, who knows? And then there's a quick cut back again of someone fighting and firing a gun, and then there's a droid again, which is the same one that was following her down with an explosion behind it. Then there's the glove hand on the spaceship throttle, pushing it forwards, and shots of some ships flying in and out in the snowy range. Amelia Clarke's talking to Solo, and then it carries on, what you really are. Is there a bit of romantic...
No.
Do you not think there's going to be...
No, have you written down what it is that Alden Ehrenreich says back to her?
Yeah, he does, because there's a cut first. So we've got spaceships from a snowy range again, so we're back on this snowy planet with the mountains, flying away from an explosion sort of behind them, or it almost looks like a water explosion if you look at it.
Yeah. What's the lines that he said?
And then you see Amelia Clarke and him, and he says, "What's that?"
Yeah.
What's it?
But it's now that bit. He's being all very cocky, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's going, "Oh, what's that?"
Yeah.
And then his face sort of drops. Now I don't know whether that's the fact that he's trying to be cocky, and he lets his mask slip, or it's bad acting. We can't tell because we don't know the context of the scene.
Yeah, we don't know the scene.
But the way that just before it cuts to the next bit, his face drops, and the trouble is, it looks like it's bad acting. It looks like he's trying to be all cocky, and then he sort of like goes out of character a little bit.
All right. Well, I'll have to look at that again. I didn't notice it.
Didn't you?
No.
That's the one thing that really stuck out at me of the whole trailer.
No, I didn't notice it.
Yeah.
Maybe I was too busy looking up and down. So then we get the Solo title card.
Yeah.
The spin is quite nice, and then we got the Star Wars theme that's reworked. Who's done the music for this one? I can't remember.
I'm not sure.
John Williams
did the Han Solo theme.
Yeah.
He's done something for it, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's that's all right. It sounds good. That's what I like. That music comes in. And then we see the Millennium Falcon.
I have to apologise. I do apologise that I keep.
The thing is, I've got to look away because it's that effect. If I look at you yawn, you know what's going to happen.
Yeah,
don't you?
people that are watching like the YouTube feed of this, I do apologise. I don't mean to be snoring, but for some reason I'm snoring. I just feel really tired today for some reason.
Well, bless you. You need an early night.
I think it is. Oh, you cheeky devil, you.
Yeah.
Stop you.
Yawning. That's you. So we see the Millennium Falcon being chased by a large ship and some TIE fighters.
Yes.
You can't quite make
TIE bombers.
Yeah, they're sort of extended out, but there are some smaller ones behind as well if you look carefully. The big ship, you can't really tell what sort of ship that is because it's just coming through like a cloud or a portal.
It is a Star Destroyer, though.
Have a look.
So.
Yeah,
I mean, some people online are saying this is the Kessel Run.
Right.
That's what they're going through.
Okay.
So whether that is true or not is obviously we'll find out in a few months' time.
So we get Chewie roaring again.
Yeah.
He gives us a bit of his monologue.
Roar.
Yeah, and Solo then says, "Get ready," and Amelia Clarke looks worried.
Yeah.
Classic whole thing. And then we see through the Millennium Falcon fly through what looks like an asteroid field with the TIE fighters following. I like this bit. If you watch carefully, the Falcon flicks.
Yeah.
And flicks a TIE fighter off into an asteroid.
Yeah.
very cool.
Something that you haven't seen before.
No, it looks very good. And that then explodes. And then Solo turns to Chewie, Lando, Amelia Clark, and says, "Thought we were in trouble there, but we're fine. We're fine." Faces change, and Lando looks terrified, and then you hear screams as the Falcon flies past, giant tentacle.
It looks like a giant squid-like kind of
creature sort of thing, swerving in and out. Excuse me. And then the Memorial Day logo comes up.
Yeah.
Are we getting it earlier? Because normally we do.
Probably. We probably get it on the Wednesday again, where everyone gets it on a Thursday or something.
Oh, only a day.
Yeah, I don't, it hasn't been confirmed, I don't think, yet. But
no.
But yeah.
So, you know, I mean, it is a bit of a trailer by numbers. I'm not going to try and dissect and think what this is and what that is. That's interesting, that bit you said about the Kessel Run. Now I'm thinking about it.
The thing is,
that makes perfect sense.
The thing is that emotionally, there's nothing riding on this.
No.
It's hopefully it's going to be just a good, fun romp.
It's got to be an action.
It looks like it's going to be some kind of group of people come together to do a job kind of thing. I'm sure that Vader or stormtroopers and that kind of thing are going to be involved in some way. There will be some kind of like Jabba the Hutt will turn up in a certain bit, or Boba Fett will turn up in a certain bit.
I was going to say Jabba the Hutt will have to, because he obviously owes him that debt, doesn't he?
Yeah, but it depends on whether or not this is going to be a one-off film, or whether they've signed them up for 2 or 3. If this takes $1 billion, who's to say there won't be another one? So that the further adventures of Han Solo, so they can incorporate.
But then what they should have done is gone younger.
Well, we don't know how young he's supposed to be here, do we?
No.
I mean, I would assume Han Solo in A New Hope is 30-ish.
I would say.
So who's to say that he isn't supposed to be 20
yeah.
in this? Or
and I did look on the trailer, because the one thing you first said, is that a scar? You can't see a scar.
You can't see, right? No. Okay.
Well, not that It's quite well shot. I haven't noticed anything standing out, so if it is there, forgive me, I haven't seen it myself.
Right.
So the next bit of news that came out was another.
Well, have we finished talking about the trailer now? That's all you want to say?
Well, I mean, if it let's do it toes up, yeah.
How many toes up do you give?
Well, I'll give it 4.
Okay.
4 toes up, because it made me want to see it. I enjoyed the trailer. Hasn't left me. You know, I felt a bit relaxed. I genuinely still do think, actually, I don't think it's going to be quite the car crash that people have been predicting and things like that. So, yeah, 4 toes up from me.
Yeah,
definitely.
I'm going to give it 4 as well, because it's a Star Wars trailer.
Right.
That's why I'm giving it. That my only thing is that yes, it looks like it's not going to be the car crash that it could have been.
Yeah, or people have said it was going to be.
But then saying that,
it's still
how many times have we seen? How many times have we seen Transformer trailers that look? Oh, I'll give it a chance this time.
Yeah.
You go and see the movie, and it's a pile of crap.
Hey, absolutely.
Suicide Squad, Batman v Superman, all of these movies that looked really great.
But this is I'm only putting the toes up for the trailer.
Absolutely.
So I'm not doing it for the movie. That'll happen in May.
Yeah.
So.
And I do think it is still fashionable to be a Star Wars fan and look, and you don't want. I'm one of these people that I don't want to slag Star Wars off.
No.
I don't want to say Star Wars is crap, or there are certain bits of Star Wars that I don't like. So, but at the same time, I don't want to be led down that path where I'm just saying it's fantastic because it's Star Wars.
No, exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
You've got,
which I'm sure I think some people do.
Yeah, even though you're a massive Star Wars fan, I think you've still got to keep that open mind.
Yeah.
You have got to. You more than me, I think. I mean, you've got to go in there and think, okay, entertain me, relax and entertain me.
But the other thing is,
I would imagine the first viewing. This is what I'll predict. I'll do a little prediction. I will imagine the first viewing, you'll come out feeling quite buzzed and enjoying it.
Yeah,
I think it's going to have to be a second viewing for you to dissect and think, actually, is it as good as I first thought? Because
the thing I was thinking is that before The Last Jedi, if somebody stood up and went, that's crap, and it's to anything Star Wars related, everybody in the room would stop and look and go, how dare you say that?
Yeah.
But it is now in to slag Star Wars off after The Last Jedi. You know what I mean? It's like, people are specifically doing videos showing them, having a go at Ryan Johnson, or having a go at the movie, or having a go at certain sections
But that
of the
happened
movie.
with Force Awakens as well.
But not to the same extent as The Last Jedi.
But people came out of the first viewing disliking The Last Jedi intensely, whereas The Force Awakens, people seem to love it and then turn against it because it became popular, which is quite a common thing that happens.
But that I think is I don't. And I say it about Star Wars all the time. I don't want to let my heart rule my head. I'm going to take it for what it is, and we'll just see where we go from there.
Absolutely. So let's move on. Let's move on to the next bit of news. So an official announcement was made this week by Lucasfilm that the Game of Thrones producers and creators of the TV show, David Benioff,
Benioff,
and D.B. Weiss, have been given the task of a new trilogy.
Now, let me stop you there. A new series of films.
Okay,
they haven't said trilogy. So a new series of films, I'm assuming potentially means 4 or more. Right. So it's not a trilogy. I'll read you the official Lucasfilm. Yeah. This is the official Lucasfilm statement. David and Dan are some of the best storytellers working today. This is what Kathleen Kennedy said. Their command of complex characters, depth of story, richness and mythology will break new ground and boldly push Star Wars in a way I find incredibly exciting. Excuse me. Benioff and Weiss had a joint statement. This is just a couple of things they said. In the summer of 1977, we travelled to a galaxy far, far away, and we've been dreaming of it ever since. We are honoured by the opportunity, a little terrified by the responsibility, and so excited to get started as soon as the final season of Game of Thrones is complete. So
a series of films.
But
they haven't even said, when they say a series of films, it doesn't even necessarily mean for the cinema, does it? I think it will be. But I
think it will be. I mean, straight away my feeling goes that it's going to be Old Republic, because it just goes with what Game of Thrones. But then if you're them, aren't they going to want to maybe do something completely different?
Well, this is what they might be given the task with.
Or is that what they've been chosen for? Because they've done Game of Thrones, that they go to them and say, we want you to do your Game of Thrones magic on like the first 2,000 years of Star Wars history.
And are they giving it so it's an adult version?
Well, that obviously hasn't
no. But obviously they have also. This is nothing. People, we must say, it's nothing to do with Ryan Johnson not doing his new trilogy or anything like that. No, he's still doing that. Yeah, a brand new story.
These stories have got nothing to do with the Skywalker saga and nothing to do with Ryan Johnson's
new.
Which that is a trilogy.
Yeah, which is a new storyline.
So the thing then that we look at, which I think we spoke about yesterday when we weren't doing anything, is Episode 9 comes out in 2019. Yeah. Now, talk has gone very quiet about Obi-Wan Kenobi.
But apparently due to start filming in January.
Well, apparently, but they haven't officially announced that yet, have they?
Well, I thought they'd announced the filming date, but they haven't officially announced the cast.
No.
Did they,
Because I don't think it's been officially announced. I'm going to have to check that. I'm going to have to check that. But even if that's the case, then if that's 2020... So then you've got Ryan Johnson's movies, which is sort of 3 more movies.
Which he's starting the ball rolling.
Now, if they're saying the Game of Thrones guys is a series of movies, let's just say that, okay, it's not a trilogy. So at the very least, it's going to be 4. So that's 7 more movies that's going to be coming out. Now, if they come out 1 a year, that takes you up to 2026.
Which is a good thing.
But that's irrespective of whether they're going to do an episode 10, 11 or 12. So is there now a potential that they're going to do 2 movies a year? Or, as I was thinking about it today, could they do... Now, if you look, they've now got... If they count the trilogy, the Skywalker trilogy as well, you could have, say, the Obi-Wan Kenobi movie coming out in 2020. Then you could have a Ryan Johnson movie, a Game of Thrones guys movie, then a Skywalker saga movie, and then do that every 3 years. Do you know what I mean? So every year you could have one of those and do keep doing that. Yeah. For for 3 years if you like. So then that gives you a little bit of a break then for the episodic movies. Yeah. So you'd have Ryan Johnson, Game of Thrones, and then the episodic movies every 3 years.
Possibly. Did you just make that up so you could do that? That's all I need to ask.
That was a little the thick of it. Homage there.
I don't know. But also we've got the launch of the Disney streaming service is 2019.
Well, that was another thing that I was thinking.
Could this be for that?
Those movies could be, but then I suppose in one way it's a way of getting people to subscribe to that.
Yeah, which they are going to want to. They're going to do something.
Well, they've already said. I read today on a site that they have said that they've got a couple of projects that are going to be specifically for their streaming site, like Star Wars projects. So Star Wars
and Disney are not going to pump that sort of money into their streaming service. They've already said it's going to be for children and adults.
That's right. But then again, also like the movies, I personally I think it'd be wrong for them to do episode 10, 11, 12 straight away.
Yeah.
Give like Daisy Ridley, if she survives episode 9, obviously.
Well, we don't know whether there is going to be episode 10, 11.
But give them a little bit of time to not, so it's not just carrying on straight away. The same as they've done with the other trilogies. There's been a little bit of a gap. Maybe not 30 years, but there's been a bit of a gap. So if they did it where it was, I'm not going to do that again. If they did it where it is like a Rian Johnson, then a Game of Thrones guys, and then there's a nice sort of rhythm to it.
Yeah.
You know what's happening, and then if they want to do an extra little Star Wars story,
But they also want to still do the standalone movies. They haven't said they want to stop those, have they?
No, exactly. So maybe that's the years that you can have two a year.
Yeah.
Have one on. Maybe that's the reason that they've done the Han Solo movie in May. They're looking to see how well it'll do.
React, yeah, and then
so they can have the standalone Star Wars movies in May, and then the saga movies, or the trilogy movies, or the series movies in December.
Yeah, I do think we have. I do still think that something's going to come on the. Maybe one of these will be on the streaming. I really do think.
It's possibly.
There was also Dylan Q gave us a comment today. I just suddenly remembered that because I put a note on there. Let me just find it. Carry on a minute, Pav.
Hello. What do you want me to say?
Let me find it. What have I done with it?
Well, come and subscribe to us. We'll do all this bump now while Neil's looking. Come and subscribe to us on iTunes, or Apple Podcasts, as they like to call it. And also come and leave us a review. That would be great. And on YouTube, if you want to come and subscribe, by all means you can. I will, as I said last week, since YouTube have decided to change the rules in regarding to monetization. I mean, we got up to the grand old price. I think we've got $30 in our iTunes, our YouTube account, and we can't get anything until we got $60. So that's now going to be gone, because I think on the 20th of February, unless you've got 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of viewing time, you're not allowed to monetize things. So
no. Curse you, YouTube.
It has sort of kicked us right in the bollocks, I think, in regards to wanting to put content up on YouTube at the moment. So there you go. So if you want to come and subscribe to us on YouTube, do so. If you don't, then we're not going to hate you.
I put this trailer up and asked for any feedback. Dylan fed back, and he said, I feel like this film is going to leave me very disappointed.
Okay.
I really want to see a Darth Vader film.
A Darth Vader film?
So there's his standalone. So what do you think about that?
Well, I think that Darth Vader is perfect in small doses. I don't think I would want like a whole 2-hour movie of Darth Vader.
No.
Because
well, we sort of have had a Darth Vader film. We've had a Darth Vader trilogy, really.
Well, yeah, but I mean that's more about the rise to become Darth Vader, isn't it? The if you saw the clip at the end of Rogue One, that's fantastic. But because it was just that 2-minute clip. If you had a 2-hour movie of just that, because he's an evil badass, there's not going to be any redemption for him in a Star Wars, in like a Darth Vader movie.
No.
So there won't be any arc to him. At the start of the movie, he's going to be bad. You know he's not going to die at the end of the movie. He's just going to be bad.
Well, maybe when he first becomes Darth Vader, obviously he's got to be trained a little bit to be that Sith Lord. Maybe it's like the college years.
Vader the college years.
Yeah, so he has to go to his training academy.
Yeah, that's just.
And he's a stoner and all of that. There you go. It's the first Star Wars comedy. teenage comedy.
See the Peter Serafinowicz, I'm so stupid.
Yeah.
When there's that pink Darth Vader and he
yeah.
fucking... That's so funny.
Yeah.
And what show was that from? Was that his...
That was his own show.
His own show.
Yeah. And also, there is great Darth Vader things on YouTube. I shared it on our Pancast page, was the Vader Sessions, which to me is one of the funniest mashups ever. It's from years ago, where they took the actual dialogue from James Earl Jones films from the 70s and put it over, and I just think it's hilarious.
There's so many. I mean, the Snatch Wars is one of the best ones with Bricktop and Arnie and Kenneth Williams and Homer Simpson.
But the Vader Sessions was one of the first to come out. I mean, it was put up on YouTube years ago. And the one that I always enjoyed, talking about the mashups, just quickly, I know we're running out of time, was they did one with the Arth Wiedersehen pet.
Oh, right, okay.
Did you ever see it?
No, I never saw that
one. So C-3PO was Barry.
Right.
And it fitted perfectly, but I can't seem to find them there.
Oh, maybe it got taken off then.
Yeah, I'm going to have to still hunt for them.
Damn you, YouTube.
Hunt for them. So, as you heard Pav earlier on, if you do have any comments on the YouTube video, do please leave them on here and we'll speak to you. Yeah. Now go and watch this trailer on the big screen.
Yeah.
Without falling asleep.
So that's it for episode 63.
Wow.
So now that we've had the trailer, it's going to be weird what kind of news we're going to be getting for Star Wars over the next few weeks.
Well, I don't know. I think it's going to go quite quiet again. So be warned, it's going to go quite quiet again. So we'll maybe onto a Phantom Menace by then.
Yeah, it'll be up to you to think of some
I'll
content.
delve. I will dig and delve.
You like to delve and dig, especially around your nose.
What you talking about?
That'll do then for this week. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you very much, everyone.
And keep your feet on the stars and keep your ass on your elbow.
Wrong podcast.
Oh, yeah. And may your force be with you all.
Weiss.
Lorks a lordy. My bottom's on.
So I've still been listening back to the Pancast movie show. I listen to one a week now from the archives.